Drawn out comb is possibly the best resource that you can accumulate in beekeeping. Takes a lot of time, a lot of energy from the bees. Takes a big percentage of their resources to produce drawn comb. I don't know the facts on numbers, but I would, just my estimation, I would say they could probably make 10 times the amount of honey in a box of drawn out comb than they could a box of foundation having to draw the comb out. It probably close to 10 times the amount of honey. I would estimate 8 to 10 times. It just takes up a lot of the resources to draw out a box full of foundation. So being able to store up some extra drawn out comb, being able to get it drawn out each season and have it on hand to store for the next spring, and also having your supers drawn out already for the next spring, really accelerates your progress the next year. Very, very beneficial resource, very important resource to have, but it's also very easy to lose that comb through the fall. If you're storing it off of a beehive, if it's not on the beehive for the bees to protect, it is very easy to lose it to mainly wax moths. So there's some very important steps you need to take to protect it, and I'm going to walk you through how we protect our comb through the fall and winter. You've probably seen this on some of our videos before. We use what we call a Connex box. It's a shipping container. Closes up and seals pretty well. We use that to store our boxes of drawn comb, our extra deep frames that we use in brood boxes, and also our drawn out honey supers. They're all extracted out. We allow the bees to clean them up. This is our honey super stores the back. Once the bees have got them cleaned up, we stack them in the box in the Connex. The same way with our deeps, our extra deeps that we pull off of brood boxes or dead outs or anything like that. They're stored in here the same way. There is multiple ways that you can store. That's the way that we do it. If you don't have anywhere inside the store, it can be done just like these out here. These are just some stacked boxes, but stacking boxes up outside just like this, you can use the same way to protect your frames of drawn out comb, and I'll show you how the best way that I know of to do that. If we stack in the Connex, it's not as big of a deal to get the boxes sealed up really good. You'll see some of these don't even have a top on them. That's because we put treatment, and I'll show you what we use for treatment in a little bit. But we put treatment within these stacks of boxes. Every stack's got some treatment inside of it, and this Connex is just full of that wax moth treatment. So when these doors are closed up, we seal this Connex up. It is very potent inside this box. So it's not that big of a deal to get the boxes sealed. Sometimes we'll just stack the box straight down on the floor. If you want to seal it up a little better, we start with a top, turn it upside down on the bottom. And we will take, and I'll show you how we place that treatment within these boxes as we stack them up. Sometimes we will find a hive that has died out or close to dying out. This had an infestation of hive beetles or wax moths already. And if there's good frames left in that box, I'll still go ahead and bring them in here to the Connex and stack it on a stack and put treatment on it, and that treatment will eliminate those beetles or larvae of wax moths or hive beetles that are in that comb, and I'll be able to save whatever's left that's still good. Here's one right here. You see this is honey drained out into the floor. That's because one of these boxes in this stack here has got hive beetles, and I found that on the hive that way, on the dead out, and just went ahead and brought it here, stacked it up, and put treatment on it. And those beetles would have died out by now. The larva that was in there would have died out, and whatever comb's left in there that's good will be salvaged and be able to use that next year. That treatment does a really good job of not only preventing the beetles or wax moths from getting onto it, but it also will eliminate whatever's already on it. If you have some good combs still left in the box, you can bring them home, bring them to your out, set them off the hive and get them closed up well, put your treatment on there, and it will eliminate the larva that's already in there and allow you to salvage what you can out of that box. So considering that if I'm gonna place my comb, store it outside, don't have anywhere enclosed to store it, this is the way that I will stack it. If you're stacking it inside, I stack it the same way and place the treatment on it in the same fashion. You just don't have to worry as much about getting the cracks sealed up as good, getting it closed off as well. But I will show you how we stack it outside to best protect it. If I've got an uneven number of combs, I will leave an open gap in the middle on the bottom box, and I'll show you how we do that. What I will do is pull 2 or 3 frames out of the middle in the very bottom box, and I'll show you more about the treatments that we use later on in this video. Show you how we purchase them, where we purchase them from, and exactly what to look for. There's a lot of cheap ways you can buy treatment. There's some very expensive ways. There's some very expensive treatment out there you can buy from bee supply companies. I'll show you a way to save a lot of money on these treatments later. But bottom box, I want treatment in the bottom box on the stack. And as we build up, I'm going to put some more treatment as we go higher up in the stack, maybe in the middle, and depending on how high it goes, another treatment in the very top of the box. But I always start in the bottom, leave a gap in the bottom if you have an uneven number of frames, and I just place that treatment right down in the bottom, just like that. Place a couple of these things right in the bottom, and then I'll take my other boxes and just stack them right on top of that as I start to move up. Without, if you say you got 2 or 3 full boxes of frames and you don't really have, you're not able to create a gap in the middle like that, or it's just not as efficient, this is another thing you can do. I'll stack maybe a box right on the bottom of comb, and I will stack an empty honey super or empty deep, whatever you got, on top of that bottom box, and that gives me a gap right here for my treatments. And I always put some kind of barrier, especially if you're using plastic frames. You want some kind of barrier to where this treatment don't touch your frames. I use paper plates, just stick treatment right on top of it, and that protects my frames. Depending on how you place the treatment, if you just cut a slit in these bags where there's a barrier, the plastic wrapping is a barrier, that's fine. You can place it directly on the frame. But if the treatment ever does touch the frame, it will melt the spot on these plastic frames. So the safest way to do it, just place a plastic paper plate, a paper plate right there and on top of your plastic frames, and stick your treatment right on top of that. And then continue stacking up. So I placed 2 or 3 more boxes of drawn comb on top of that. So we got our treatment in the bottom. In this case, we've got an empty super. Treatment is in this box. I'll take probably 3 more. Here's a couple. I'll take maybe 1 more box of drawn comb above this, and then I'll have another box with treatment on top of that next box, and keep working up just like that. Just every 3 or 4 boxes, put another layer of treatment. So we started out with a box of drawn comb on the bottom. Either have treatment in that bottom box, or in this case, got an empty super, and treatment is in this box here. So I'll place 3 or 4 more boxes of foundation, of drawn comb on top of that, just like so. Say we have 3 more boxes of drawn comb here. I will stack another layer of treatment on top of that. And then if I'm going on up higher, I'll place 3 or 4 more boxes of drawn comb on top of this. So we'll have another treatment, another 3 or 4 boxes of comb, and then another empty box with treatment on the very top. If you're leaving them outside, this is a very important part. So we had the lid turned upside down on the bottom. That allows the bottom box to sit directly on top of that lid, and the bottom box is completely sealed. Don't allow any cracks. Nothing can get in, and mainly it seals up that vapor that's emitted from this treatment and keeps it from just being blown out. That vapor is just really contained and really surrounds that comb really well. On top, you'll need to place another top. Place it the correct way, right side up, right on top, and it does the same thing here. It's going to seal off the top of that top box and allow that vapor to stay contained in this stack of boxes. So that's the way that these treatments work. It evaporates. That solid will evaporate into a vapor, and if you've got it sealed up good, it'll be contained inside this stack of boxes. And that vapor really surrounds those frames well, and will kill out that larva, and also stop any new pests from coming into your stack of boxes. But get that top on good. If you can't use a warped top or anything like that, you need to use a good flat top. Well, that way you don't have any cracks, and it does a good job of sealing up. If you do have spots, say here's an old box that's kind of starting to rot out right here. Say you might have a crack right there in that spot. Just look over your stack of boxes, and anywhere that you might have a little crack, take some duct tape and go over those cracks. And it don't hurt to do it anyway around every single one of these junctions where these boxes meet. You can take 1 wrap of duct tape, go over those junctions all the way around. Just 1 wrap is sufficient, and that will really do a good job of sealing them up and keep that vapor contained in that box. There's quite a few options out there on the market to use that is effective as wax moth treatment, and there's a big difference in the price as the main thing. They all use this exact same ingredient, and that's what you're going to be looking for as you choose a wax moth treatment. What you are probably used to seeing, and what you'll see from bee supply companies, is this product on the right called Paramoth insecticide. And as you'll see, what you're going to always look for is the active ingredient, para-dichlorobenzene. Try to get that where you can see it. know if I can get it to focus. But that's it there, para-dichlorobenzene. You'll see this is the active ingredient in this treatment. That's a pretty expensive product if you're having to use very much of it. But it's the only thing you'll find for storing your comb to protect it from wax moths. They do make a spray. I can't think of the name of it right off that that kills your larvae or moths off. I can't remember how it actually works, but I've never used it before. It is a treatment that you mix up and spray your combs with, and it's not an insecticide. It kind of works by them feeding on that treatment, and I think it starves them out somehow over time. I don't know how well it works. Never used it before, never even seen it. But I can tell you that this does work, and it works immediately, and it's very effective. Anything with para-dichlorobenzene. Sometimes you will see it as just P-dichlorobenzene. Sometimes you'll see it as para-dichlorobenzene, P-A-R-A. Both are the same thing. This P-dichlorobenzene will be just an abbreviation. But the way that we buy a lot of this product at a cheaper price is simply what I call urinal cakes. Urinal cakes, what they place in a toilet bowl or urinals for a deodorizer. In this case, this is called Bowl Fresh. You can find it a lot of Dollar Generals, Walmart. You can order it off Amazon. And you just have to look at the active ingredients and this stuff. This brand right here, it all uses the same active ingredient, which is para-dichlorobenzene. And this is pretty much all that we buy, Bowl Fresh. And what we'll do is usually just cut a slit in the plastic, kind of open it up a little bit and lay it directly on top of the frames. And that way the treatment's not actually touching the frame, but the vapor is able to escape the wrapping. Sometimes at Dollar General they'll sell a brand. I don't remember the name brand of it, but it's been a blue cardboard box, and it will say mothballs. But you have to be very careful and be sure to look at your active ingredient. There is another active ingredient, I don't remember the name of it either, that is toxic to bees. So when you're buying it, make sure that it is para-dichlorobenzene or P-dichlorobenzene. If that's the active ingredient, you've got the right thing, and it is safe for your bees. You're gonna, when you store them up with this, get ready to use them next spring, you'll set your boxes of comb outside for a day or two, let them air out, and they are completely safe to use at that time for your bees. Will not harm your bees at all. Matter of fact, a lot of times I'll set them directly on the hive as I pull them out of the connex without airing them out. Never had any problems whatsoever. I've started placing a link to some of the products that I use. You'll find it in the video descriptions down below my videos. I'm going to continue adding those links. Those are paid links. I do get a portion of the profit if you click on that link and purchase these products. But I'm trying to include a lot of the products that I use that save me time or money over the years that I currently use and I know that are effective. I'm going to start linking some of those into the video descriptions down below the videos. You can go click on those links and see some of the exact products that I use. And this is one of them. I can purchase these off of Amazon. Sometimes purchase them directly from the company, but you'll find these linked down below this video in the description, and you'll be able to see and purchase exactly the product that I use.